Hey folks, this is Best in Slot giving you my thoughts and impressions of the brand new Battle at Big Rock Jurassic World short, available online everywhere right now. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the link in the description down below. It is only 8 minutes long, but do so now because this is going to be a spoiler-filled discussion right from the get-go. Are you all ready to go? Good, I'm very proud of you. Let's get started. We'll begin with a brief synopsis, basically a quick overview of what goes down in Big Rock for those of you who still need it. After a pretty cool Universal logo introduction and some radio noise about the first baby dinosaur in the wild, we're introduced to a family of five humans, that is. A mother and father with children from previous relationships, plus a new baby I assume they shared. And they're camping out in Big Rock, which is a caravan park, sort of natural park kind of thing. They're all in this caravan kind of area. There's fires, barbecues, other regular campers that the family know enough to invite over for food. It's all lovely jubbly stuff. We get a minute or two of introductions to this family via quarrelling children before the campsite suddenly goes quiet. Everybody else disappears out of sight, and the reason why soon emerges. A Nasutoceratops steps out into view. It kicks things around, the family are cautious but not too scared, and then they relax a little bit further when a baby Nasutoceratops pops out and plays around with a flashlight. The Nasutos suddenly become agitated, however, when a full-grown Allosaurus steps out and grabs hold of the baby. After a little bit of a tumble, the baby gets free and the titular fight begins, with the Allo snapping at the Nasuto and the Nasuto responding by slamming the carnivore down onto the ground, hard enough to snap open the door of the camper van, which the father human sneaks across to shut. In the battle, the mother Nasuto becomes injured and the Allo kinda moves in for the kill before Big Papa Nasutoceratops shows up and shuts him down, letting the Nasutos escape. All is well in the world until a new baby human cries and the Allosaurus, deprived of his meal, turns to the family in the camper van. The Allo charges the camper van, rolls it over, knocking out the lights and all of the family along with it, other than the baby who was fortunately strapped in. As the father comes to, the baby is still crying and the Allo is poking its head through to try and snap at him. He wakes the mother and the two, again human, and the two just about manage to detach the kid before it becomes a bit of an appetizer, and then the Allosaurus begins to ravage the camper van and bites at the humans and such. They beat it back with shards of metal and a fire extinguisher, but as their temporary home disappears around them and they're left exposed, all seems lost for the family. That is until the Allosaurus suddenly takes multiple bolts into its side, wounding it and driving it away. And then standing heroically behind a glassless window is the couple's 8-year-old child, crossbow in hand. It was a weapon also referenced at the beginning of the short. Chekhov's crossbow, I guess. Anyway, that's Battle at Big Rock. So we're going to do this pretty simply. Let's discuss the positives, of which there are quite a few, and then the negatives, of which there are literally just 2 for me, of Battle at Big Rock. The first positive is the sheer existence of Battle at Big Rock at all. Jurassic Park was never really a franchise with a particularly heavy history, and all 3 of the first films could stand alone without much reliance on what had come earlier. Jurassic World, with its romantic partnerships and the fetishism for Blue and Rexy, really can't do the same thing. This does lead to a trilogy that hopefully by the end is going to tell a more well-rounded and complete story, but it also means dealing with the same characters over and over again and more constrained plotting. It's really nice to see, outside of owning the gang, to see other regular humans dealing with the dinosaurs. And it's also pretty cool to see those dinosaurs out in the wild for the first time ever really, interacting with humans and raising their young. The Nasutos are almost bear-like initially, and even called as such in the film, as they rummage around in food and the incredibly adorable baby tumbles around with a flashlight, and there's mention of how they've migrated out of their initial area. Maybe in this universe, which is about 1 year after Fallen Kingdom now, the dinosaurs have been left to their own devices initially, happily as they seem to be contained to specific areas. I still find it a little bit hard to believe that the US government would ever let a fully grown Allosaurus roam around anywhere, even vaguely near humans though, so I'm hoping that is something that's addressed in the feature film when we get there. I've mentioned that a few times now. The plot and writing are fine, basically. There's really only so much you can do in 8 minutes, and honestly the dialogue is over once the Allosaurus spots the family. Whilst it didn't give us much of a glimpse of what Carmichael's writing, she's a new writer for the franchise, is going to be like, bar one moment I will get to in the negatives, I'm afraid. Some of the direction was really, really good. Fair play to Trevorrow. Battle at Big Rock is the scariest and most visceral the franchise has felt since The Lost World. A film it absolutely pays homage to with the, I had to say homage like that, I'm sorry, with the Allosaurus attack scene. Hell, the music is there too, and it is perfect. Trevorrow said that this third film would have a wilder, more primal approach to the dinosaurs, and Big Rock really does nail that. And if this is a sign of things to come with Jurassic World 3, then you can count me as pretty excited. I just have my doubts that this same kind of style is going to be maintained this well when you bring Owen and Blue and Rexy, etc. back into the fold. Either way, it's beautifully shot, beautifully lit, the music is perfect, and some of the Allosaurus attack scenes are proper horror movie stuff. It's what I've wanted from Jurassic Park for a long time. I know Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom dabbled with it, but again, the Prisoners of Owen and stuff kind of brought me out of that a little bit more. Similarly, the scene with the baby Nasutoceratops is beautiful and something Jurassic World as a franchise desperately needs more of. These moments where the humans appreciate the majesty and spectacle of these creatures. Unfortunately, it's a very short scene, but it's adorable and still very realistic. And it's the kind of thing I hope we see a lot more of down the line. It's something Fallen Kingdom was desperately missing for me personally. The final big positive then is the CGI. It's helped along by the nighttime shooting, of course, but the CGI of both the Nasutoceratops family and the Allosaurus is pretty top notch. I never felt this was a particular issue with the franchise other than some slightly odd raptors in the past couple of films, but it is noticeably good and immersive here in Big Rock. The Allosaurus in particular, debuting its adult form is verging on terrifying, particularly at the end as it goes in for the kill and its almost skeletal visage is lit up in these flashes of bone white. It's very cool stuff, it really, really is. Now, on to the negatives, though as I said there are literally only two for me personally. Firstly, it's the runtime. It's literally just the runtime. It's overly restrictive. Now, I realised the reason was that this was going to be shown at the cinema before Hobbs and Shaw, and that is inevitably why. But 15 minutes or so, just 5 more minutes even, would have felt a lot better. More time to establish the family, and more time for the Nasuto and the Allosaurus to fight, which is actually less than a minute long in reality if you time it, and most of that minute is spent watching the dad try to close the camper door. For a film called Battle at Big Rock, I thought more time would have been devoted to the actual battle, but all we actually see is the Allosaurus grab the baby and the mother lunge at him, plus a blurry background shot. The focus is absolutely on the human family and their survival, and that's okay, but a little bit more, considering it's called Battle at Big Rock, would have been nice. Secondly, and as I said lastly, only two negatives, is the ending, because god damn do I hate that ending. They took the Lost World vibes with the stupid acrobatic kick, and they did it again, as the bloody 8-year-old stands there, after being knocked out by the way only moments ago, in a terrifying attack, and plugs a fully grown, horrifying Allosaurus full of holes with a human adult-sized crossbow. It's unnecessary, it's unrealistic, and it immediately diffuses all horror out of the situation. Maybe other people are going to read it differently, maybe they will, but this is the kind of obvious move that I've hated since the dawn of the franchise, and I'm going to continue to dislike it until the franchise dies. If they want to take the franchise back in this more visceral and primal and scary direction, then this is the kind of thing that simply has to stop. Now please don't take this as me being overly nitpicky or negative. As I've said, the positives do massively outweigh the negatives. But a little criticism, in my own personal opinion, that's what you're here for, is good and necessary for any franchise to thrive, and in my opinion is as valuable as praise. I'm just saying because some people think I'm overly negative, and I'm being very positive here. Don't get caught up on the negatives, that's all I'm saying. Let's move on. Anyways, that said, the experience is largely positive. There's a new great cast, it's really nicely directed with beautiful and at times very understated music. You just hear little chimes of it come in now and again, and it's very, very subtle. There are some cool homages to past films, Jurassic Park 2, but Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3 a little bit with the tumbling. They remind me a little bit of the Spinosaurus attack on the plane. There's some great looking dinosaurs and an exciting vision of what the franchise could be in the future. All in all, really not bad at all for 8 minutes. I sincerely hope we see more of this kind of material going forward, maybe even full films set in alternate parts of the universe once Jurassic World 3 is over. Kind of like the Star Wars model, you know, with Solo and Rogue One and all that. Either way, my excitement for the next film has increased a little. I don't think Big Rock is as good as some of the reactions are making it out to be, but it is probably the best 8 minutes of Jurassic Park film we've had in at least 2 films, like consecutive 8 minutes. It's genuinely better than any consecutive 8 minutes in the last 2 films, in my opinion. So it's pretty damn good either way. Yeah. Oh, small note at the end about the credit roll clips. Basically, during the credits, these little clips play showing dinosaurs interacting with humans in the environment, blah, 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 blah. These were all a little bit absurd to me. They were clearly, much lower budget for the CGI. They all looked a little bit weird, but they were an interesting vision of what a post-Fallen Kingdom world could look like. Doves being snatched out of the sky by pterosaurs, mosasaurs roaming around the oceans, compies attacking a child, stuff like this. The one with the compies chasing the child was actually pretty hilarious. Not sure if that was the goal, but there you go. I don't think it was scary at all. But yeah, there you go. Let me know your own thoughts and opinions down below, folks. What was your favourite aspect of Big Rock? Has it made you more excited for Jurassic World 3? It has on my part, I've got to be honest. I wasn't that confident with Trevorrow back directing, although I love some of Trevorrow's older films. I just didn't love Jurassic World. But I'm a bit more optimistic now, and will we see this exact same tone make it into that 3rd film? I hope so. Let me know what you think down below, comment down below, hit the like button, and I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to help support me a little bit more, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. There's a link in the description down below. Every little really does help in times like these, but it's not at all expected, and by just watching the video you've already helped me out massively, and it makes you a pretty cool person, so well done you. Thanks for joining me either way, I'll see you next time.